Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Shit's about to hit the fan. Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursdays on Wrestling with Freddie.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Unsanctioned Thursday. Quick show today because WWE's doing 5-match PLEs. I wish they did 8-match pay-per-views like AEW does. Sometimes even more. But we're going to go over the crown jewel, the first crown jewel ever held outside Saudi Arabia. I wonder how they feel about that. We talked last week about my prediction of the Saudis eventually buying WWE from TKO. So if you haven't heard that episode, that's at the top of the show. You can get into that. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty good at predicting these things. And yeah, we'll see. But anyway, we're going to go over all of the matches, all 5 of them. We got a champion versus champion twice. We've got legends making final runs and betrayals. But underneath it all, this isn't just another card. It's WWE showing us what they think the future should look like, and we might disagree vehemently. So we're going to give you our predictions, stories behind them, and where all this shit's going to go. Let's start the damn show. Mr. Jeff, how are you, sir?
Feeling good. I was in my own brain going, isn't Crown Jewel supposed to be in Saudi Arabia? I thought that was the whole thing. I thought that's why it was called Crown Jewel. I thought I was crazy.
You're not crazy. I think they just got some permission from their bosses.
I was like, Perth? Well, I thought the Crown Jewel meant Saudi Arabia. I don't know. It's just what I thought.
Yeah, they're on their way to Perth. Whoever pays, that's where they're going to go. And Perth pays a lot for UFC to come there. And I saw this interview where they were pissed because he took down this art installation, the guy who's in charge of all that money that goes to bringing things to the city. And he's like, you think I'm going to put $4 million or whatever the number is into an art installation that nobody in Australia gives a damn about, or the UFC, which sells out every time we bring him in? I'm bringing in the UFC. And they were like, no, boo. And he's like, boo all you want. It was Australia, so they can take heat. They don't get sensitive like we do here in America. He's like, you can boo all you want. This is the way it goes. This is business. Deal with it. So they paid a pretty penny to get WWE to go there. That number will be public, I'm sure, very soon. And if you can't already find out what that number is, I just haven't done it because I'm lazy, sir. All right. Let's get into these matches, Jeff. Oh, also, where are you going to be this weekend? Where are you performing?
Well, this weekend I will be in Canada, Winnipeg and Thunder Bay, Manitoba and Ontario. But then I was just going to say that I kind of looked down at my phone when you were talking about Perth, Australia, because I'll be in Australia at the end of November.
No way.
Yep. Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth, November 19th to the 26th.
They're going to love you down there. They're going to love your set. They're going to love your materials. They're old school down there, man. And they've got a great sense of humor. The Australians always have. And you can make fun of them too without them getting all upset and hurt about it. Like they have good sense of humor. I love it down there. I've made 2 movies down there, had a blast both times. The people are awesome. The food's really good. It's beautiful. Go outside, get to the beach whenever you can. You're good at traveling though and learning about the cities you go to already. All right, dude, enjoy that. I remember when I was filming, I know you did last summer, I think I FaceTimed you and I was like, dude, you have to do your comedy out here in Australia. They're going to freaking go crazy for you. Like just because I was seeing some of their local comedy on like TV and stuff. And I was like, oh, they'll go crazy for Jeff. They'll go crazy.
Well, every time people have asked me about going to Australia next month, I keep bringing you up. I go, my buddy Freddie was out there. And there was all these giant spiders, and I'm not excited about that. Like, I just keep talking about all the spiders you showed. Those huntsmen.
Oh, forget that thing, man. That spider can rot in hell.
That'd be
By the way, how does a spider that big get into a house? There's no hole that big for him to get in. A dog door. He had a key. He just fucking drove there.
Broke a window, yeah.
Fuck that. Okay, I'm not talking about spiders anymore.
That's a good name for a wrestler, the Huntsman.
The Huntsman. Vince would love that name in like 1987. The Huntsman. We got Rhea Ripley and her homie, Io Sky, formerly known as Io Shirai. No need to change her name, but they did it anyway. They're bros, and they all used to be bros with Asuka and with Kairi Sane, but they're not bros anymore. Now they're mortal enemies because Asuka's getting jealous, man. Jealousy. Kairi Sane's kind of torn, but she's going to follow what the big dog says, and the big dog's Asuka. She was the first one over here in WWE, so she's kind of like top dog. Even though Io's everyone's favorite, she was here first. She was a dominant NXT champion, Royal Rumble winner, former women's world champion. Like, Asuka's the shit. And she's like, yo, why are you talking to Rhea Ripley? I don't even like that bitch. You should just be hanging with us. And Io's like, what the hell, man? She's cool. And Asuka's like, what did I just say? And you're laughing. This is real shit. Now I'm giving the drama. And Kairi's like, oh, okay, fine. I'm sorry about Asuka. And then Asuka every week will go, Kairi! And Kairi's like, shit, I gotta go. Jeff hates that part. And Rhea Ripley's like, look, I wasn't trying to start any shit. I'm just trying to be cool. Oh, God, you spit in my face. What the hell? And now Io's gotten spit in her face with the Muda Mist. Everyone's gotten misted. So now we have a tag team match. We have Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. And there's no more damage control. That's pretty much gone. Sky's in the middle of this thing. Sky, what if Sky turned on her in the middle of the match? Oh, God. And that's how they won. That could happen. We never know. Anyway, our producer says Rhea and Io are going to win this match. Jeff, who do you say is going to win the match?
Let me make a quick opinion before I predict this. No more English second language. No more. No more Stephanie Vaquer coming out and doing like the 3 sentences she practiced over and over and has no idea even what she's saying. Just let them speak their native tongue, whatever that is. Wrestling is global, baby. Netflix is global. Everybody's watching from all over the world. Just let them speak whatever they speak, and then I'll read it in my language at the bottom of the screen. Wrestling is far too international. We should be celebrating these languages and celebrating the stories and like let them cook. Let Asuka and Kairi Singh and Io Scott let them actually dialogue well, so it's just rambling, and then we'll read it. Let them Asian wrestlers speak in whatever, Japanese or Korean, whatever they are. Let the Mexican wrestlers speak in Spanish, you know what I mean? Let them cook. We'll read it. I don't understand why they're doing this. It's so hard to listen to them struggle through the promos.
Well, let me try to explain it. So, in boxing, a promoter would demand that his fighters learn English because it was easier to sell tickets to a fighter that's communicating the same language that the people who are buying the tickets want to see. So guys like Julio Cesar Chavez constantly frustrated Don King because he wouldn't learn the language and he would always use a translator. And Don would say, well, that kills anybody's chance to kind of love you and connect with you. You got to learn. So that's why the fighters that have always been able to speak English in boxing and in the UFC, you tend to see them get a bigger push. You tend to see them get a championship opportunity when they may not deserve it because they can represent the Latino culture or whatever culture they're in and connect to the American culture at the same time. WWE is no different in that sense. They want you to be able to communicate in English so that the stories you're telling can be in English. Now, they've loosened that up a lot. That grip's not as tight. Like Stephanie Vaquer, she does her SmackDown segments now, and she'll say a couple things in Spanish and then say them in English so that everybody knows what she said. But she wants to speak to her people first. So she'll be like, hey, what's up to my people in Chile? You guys are awesome. And then in English, she'll say, hey, man, I'm just saying what's up to my friends in Chile because they're awesome. And then she'll say, I'm going to beat you for that title. Hey, just so you know, I'm going to beat you. Like, you know what I mean? So she's giving you the translation there because when it's live, it's going to be harder for them to get subtitles up there unless it's fully scripted, right? But if they go off script, all of a sudden the subtitle's not going to match what they're saying, and that's going to come off weird. So I think that's the main reason why they do it. I don't mind when they speak in their native tongue. Like, I watch anime and I watch the Japanese dub. I don't watch the American dub. I watch the Japanese dub and read subtitles, and I've never been distracted or missed a scene once because of it. Because your brain can pick it up pretty quick after like the first 2 minutes. It's like, yeah, okay, we're good. I'm locked in. So I get you on that. But that's, I think, where their philosophy comes from is the old school Don King promoter philosophy, which is my fighters have to speak English.
Or gives the boxer an advantage for ticket sales and all those different things. But I'm making the argument that, when it comes to these wrestlers, it gives them a disadvantage. I think the promo sucks when it's, very, basic sentences.
I hear you.
Because, I think it's just putting them in a terrible disadvantage, in my opinion.
It's definitely not an environment that's conducive to success. It's just not. Yeah,
Stephanie Vaquer and Shinsuke
you're putting
Nakamura
people out there
and
to
all
struggle.
these guys, like, they are way too good for us to be like going like this when they're doing their promo. I'm like, just let them cook.
I hear you, dude. All right.
Oh, so my prediction is that Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
Yeah, I think I gotta go with you on this. Although my gut's telling me to flip it up and to make them look strong somehow. I don't know, dude. I'm flipping it up. You guys are both going Rhea and Io, and I'm going with Asuka and Kairi Sane. That's my final pick. Next up, John Cena versus AJ Styles. Here's a little story context for you, Jeff. John Cena's on his farewell tour, and this match feels like one of his last big marquee matchups. Styles has a history with John Cena, and the build-up has largely been via social media, so that sucks. Cena has limited TV time, so we're not able to get a whole lot of story here. But there's some emotional weight because Styles wants to prove he belongs among the legends. And Cena wants to go out with a classic banger, as our friend Sheamus would say. Our producer says John Cena's going to win, and he even says he's going to get a hug and a handshake from AJ Styles after. Do you have the guts to not only predict the finish, but what's going to happen after the finish, Jeff? I don't think so.
I don't think I know what the finish is going to be, and I hope there ain't no hugs and handshakes, but I'd be a fool to predict AJ Styles, but I think that's what I'm going to do. AJ Styles will defeat John Cena, and then John Cena will raise his hand.
And hug and shake.
Yeah, they'll probably shake, actually.
All right, I'm going with Alex on this one. I say Cena gets the win. He just lost to Brock Lesnar. I don't see him getting 2 losses in a row. It would be kind of cool, though, if he was on a losing streak heading out. I don't know, but I got to go with a win on this one from Big Bad John Cena. Next up, tough match to call. Stephanie Vaquer versus Tiffany Stratton, the Women's Crown Jewel Championship. Here's where we're at. They cut a weird promo on Friday Night SmackDown that Nick Aldis should have had most of the verbiage for, and for some reason he just did introductions. So it's hard to get like story-wise excited because it just didn't click. But the match is going to be sick. Tiffany Stratton is one of the more athletic women on the roster. Her gymnastics are wild. She uses them all in the ring. Her finish is awesome. But as great as her finish is, the prettiest moonsault ever, it's not as pretty as that twisting one that Stephanie Vaquer does off the top rope. That shit is gangster. It's better than Io Sky's blind one. Io Sky, for those of you who don't know, she never looks back. From the moment you're in position, she climbs up the turnbuckle, looks to the crowd, and just backflips on you. And it's blind. And that's ballsy as hell. Vaquer's is that with like a 450 twist on it too, and she lands it perfectly. It's the coolest. It's my favorite finisher right now. I think it's so awesome. Because of that, I think Vaquer wins. And also, Tiffany hasn't lost a big match in a long-ass time. She doesn't lose the title if she loses this match. You can even get someone else involved if you want. I hope they don't do that. I hope there's no Nia Jax sighting in this match. I hope it's just straight up, and I hope Stephanie Vaquer gets the win. Our producer also picks Vaquer to win. This time, Jeff's picking last. You have all this information now at your fingertips. What are you going to do with it?
I don't think you're going to hear me pick anybody to beat Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer? Why is it so hard for me to say?
It's all right, dude. Don't trip.
I mean, I'm like,
Vaquer.
I feel like...
like Karen, Vaquer.
Karen. Yeah, Stephanie Vaquer. I'm never going to pick anybody to beat Stephanie Vaquer. She's so good. Right. She's so good. So I'm picking her to win.
Match number 4. Cody Rhodes, the WWE champion, versus Seth Rollins, the world heavyweight champion, for the Men's Crown Jewel Championship and a big fat ring that's ugly as hell and nobody wants to wear. This is the big one. Champion versus champion. Rhodes versus Rollins. The feud has lasted a long time, man, through a a pectoral tear, which was an awesome match. He wrestled anyway. That was so sick and studly, by the way. All the way till now. Now they're both champions. They're going at it. It's about pride. It's about control. Seth has backup, and Cody really just has Randy, but I don't know if Randy's even making the trip to Perth. So I don't know if he's going to have any backup. The winner gets bragging rights, an ugly ring, and a belt that doesn't fit anyone. The ugliest championship ever. So our producer Alex says Seth is going to win, but it won't really be a clean finish. He thinks there's going to be some shenanigans at Crown Jewel, which sucks. You're going to mess up the match. Jeff, what do you say? I get to pick last this time.
I think Cody Rhodes wins.
Yeah.
He is the good guy. He is our hero. He's our fearless leader, and he is the face of the company. You don't put Seth as a star. He's crushing it, but he's a bad guy, and he's a jerk, and he's. I think Cody Rhodes has got this.
This is the hardest pick for me, and I really don't even want to make a pick. So, but I'm going to. I just want to say this. Don't trust me on this one, and don't bet any money if you're going off my picks on this one, because I don't know. I really don't know who's going to win this. You both went opposite directions, which I knew you were friggin' gonna, which leaves me the tiebreaker, and I have no idea who can win. Here's the thing. Cody won the last one against Gunther, so maybe he can lose one. Also, the Saudis wanted him to win, so he won. And the Saudis are their bosses when they go to those shows. They have no say who wrestles or who wins. It's like baseball now with the office telling the manager who's in their lineup and batting win. So I think this is an opportunity where he could lose a match, but only with shenanigans. If Bronson Reed gets in there, which he may or may not, because he's going to have a match against Roman. Maybe we record these on Monday, so it hasn't been made yet, but it might be made tonight. So I'm going to say maybe it's Braun Breaker that interferes and costs him the win, and Randy couldn't be there for him. So I got Seth as well. Alex has Seth. You have Cody. Next up, and finally, Roman Reigns versus, we're guessing Bronson Reed, guys. This is a big-time guess. I can't think of who else he would wrestle. Samoan versus Samoan. Big Bronson Reed in his hometown of Perth, Australia. So that's why I think we're going with that. And I've got Roman to win. Roman's not losing that match. No way, no day. Alex also picks our man, the former champion Roman Reigns, to win. Who do you pick?
Well, I want Bronson Reed to win. I love Bronson Reed. I love both the Brons. I love LeBron James too. I love all the Brons. But it's just so I've said that I've learned my lesson about voting against Roman Reigns. He just always wins everything, even when he shouldn't, back when Vince was in charge. But actually, so I'm going to go with my heart on this. Just because you guys went with Roman, I'm going to pick Bronson Reed.
Now, the old WWE model is that hometown guys going back to their hometown never win, Jeff. I'm just throwing that out there. You want to change?
Still sticking to it.
All right, he's sticking to it, y'all. He's sticking to it because he believes. Do you believe?
Bronson Reed's not from Perth.
Isn't he from Australia? I thought he was from Adelaide.
He's a New Zealand guy, I think.
Oh, he's a New Zealand boy? I thought he was from Adelaide, Australia. Oh, well, then never mind. He's
but I could be wrong.
You're right. No, you got it right. You're winning. All right, that's all we got for Unsanctioned. Enjoy. We're going to be back next week and every week, except the weeks that we're off. But we don't get many weeks off, you guys. We take a very short break in between seasons. So stay tuned. Next week, we'll have predictions for AEW's Wrestle Dream pay-per-view slated for next Saturday. It's not Sunday because it's not the 80s. On behalf of Jeff Dye, I'm Freddie Prinze. Peace.